All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome. As we have to do on Zoom meetings these days, I'll have to tell you, this meeting is being recorded. So, not to freak anybody out, don't be intimidated by that, but just for the sake of some folks who can't make it to be with us today, we're going to record this so they can watch it later and get everything that they might need to know. So, I think I know just about all of you, just in case. My name's Tim Erickson, and I'm the chairman of the board for camp right now. So on behalf of the whole board, the staff, the speakers, everyone involved in leadership and putting this together, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of our staff this year. Obviously, it's cliche to say it, but truly we could not do it without you. You are the ones who really make things go when we get to camp. So we thank you so much for your participation in that. And I wanted to give you a little reminder about why this ministry is so important. We had the opportunity to see 4 people get baptized today here at our church. And 2 of them are not yet old enough to go to camp, so they haven't been to camp just yet. But 2 of them have been to camp in the past, and both of them in their testimony mentioned how camp had some kind of an impact on their lives. One was a teen girl who mentioned that she got saved at camp about 3 years ago. Another was a young lady. I can call her a young lady because she's young compared to me. She's a young lady who went to camp many years ago, and in her testimony actually talked about a stretch of her life where she wasn't walking as close with the Lord. And she mentioned in her testimony how a friend she had made at camp gave her some pushback and a little challenge through social media, and how that stuck with her and encouraged her to begin to walk more closely with the Lord again. And so a relationship that she had going back to her camp days turned out to be helpful and beneficial to her in her spiritual life later on. So this ministry actually does make a big difference. Even though sometimes I know we might find ourselves at the end of camp week wondering, how much of a difference did this really make? Sometimes we don't know for sure at the end of the camp week. Maybe we haven't heard for sure if kids responded to the gospel. Maybe some of them did and they didn't express that for whatever reason. But sometimes, we don't always know how the Lord is going to use this ministry, but He surely does each and every year. And so we thank you so much for your involvement, and thank you for being here today. So at this time, I'm going to turn things over to our illustrious camp director.
Illustrious, I'm not sure what camp.
He's August. There we go, August. The August Reverend Dr. Ken Harder. But we'll turn things over to John Maples.
I want to welcome you guys too, and I appreciate Tim talking about the importance that camp has been in people's lives. I'd venture to say there's people here who could say some similar things about what camp has done for them. I can tell you, even a million years ago when I was at church camp, I gave my life to Christ at church camp. So those are, I guess that's why I'm still involved to this day, because I just find it very, very important. It's a ministry that we can all get involved in and do, and knowing all of you, most of you, you guys do a great job every year. So really looking forward to camp again this year, and I hope you are too. We're going to start out, the first page has the counselor expectations. There's nothing really new here that those of you that have been involved before haven't seen before, but we'll go over it anyway. The first thing we want to remind you of is that we focus on God. I mean, that's what camp's all about. We want kids to learn about God. You have an opportunity to serve God. And we want it to be that way. And so that's why we put in the scripture, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, 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 with all your soul, and all your mind. And then we've also included there Colossians 3:23, which says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Remember that the reason you're there is to further God's kingdom, to serve Him, and to serve the campers that we're responsible for. So, in doing that, focus on these scriptures. Also focus on the 5 things underneath there. Pray about your relationship with God. You know, make sure that your relationship is in a place that you're ready for camp. Prepare for camp devotions, and we'll be talking about some of that later on in our meeting. Take part in all activities. One of the things about taking part in all activities is the main thing is that there's always things going on, and so somebody needs to be around the campers and so forth, but they also follow the example that you set. So please try to be involved in any way you can with all the activities. Be a positive example. In the past, we've talked about no yawning and whining and that kind of stuff, but we know sometimes things happen, but you need to keep a positive attitude. You need to remember why you're there, and know that through God all things are possible, and that's it, including having a good attitude. And I say this every year, camp goes as you guys go. That's kind of what Tim was saying a while ago. That if you're positive, then the kids are more likely to be positive, right? So keep that in mind. Be ready for camp by setting yourself into a positive attitude and gung-ho, so to speak. Okay, and the last one there talks about dressing modestly, and we have the dress code over here. The kids get the same dress code, so please pay attention to that, and know that that's part of what we do to set a good example for the kids. The second part of this is focusing on campers, and that goes to the second greatest commandment: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Also included here is, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey His commandments. So the idea being, of course, is that the campers is where your focus has to be. You have to be thinking about them, not each other, although that's part of it when you're working together. But your concentration, everything you do needs to be about what's going on with the campers. So, in doing that, number one, pray for your campers before and after camp. You can start praying for your campers this week, right? You'll know who they are when the day is over, and you can start praying for them right away. Some of you may have already started praying for them, even not knowing who they were. Be aware of your campers at all times. You should sit with and be with your campers. You know, we in the last couple of years, we've given a little more freedom to what we do at camp. That there's times like when we're swimming, you don't have to be swimming the whole time, those kind of things, but you need to have something to do with your campers and be with them all the time. One of the places that we'd like to concentrate on this year too is at nighttime. You know, once you get them bedded down, you still need to be around. Okay, you can't wander off somewhere because you don't know when some kid's going to wake up needing something. You know, if you're right outside the cabin, I know there's some cabins there that have like some picnic tables or something right outside. You know, that might be okay, but you need to be close to your cabin so that someone can respond to kids when they need responded to, especially the little kids. Yeah, we just need to be aware of who's there and what they're going through, and you'll kind of get to know the kids and figure out which ones you have to really pay attention to the most. So just be aware of that. I know sometimes all of you shower after the kids have had their shower, so you just take turns with that so someone can be, again, available. Get to know your campers, especially their relationships with peers, parents, and Christ. you know, when you're serving these kids, getting to know them is very important, so that you know what their needs are, and you can minister to them while you're there at camp. And hopefully, the messages that are coming through from our teachers this week will be a part of that, and so you need to familiarize yourself with those, but really try to get to know your campers the best you can, and some of that may be, you know, as counselors, you split up kids and say, hey, I'll pay attention to this one, you pay attention to that one, you know, and it might be easier for you to get to know your campers that way. Number 4, greet your campers on Monday and have a get acquainted activity ready. We try to do that on Monday morning when they arrive, but we also have some other things built in later on in the schedule for that. Be ready to help campers with devotions, and the best way you can do that is to familiarize yourself with the devotions over this next couple of weeks. And be ready to share your testimony and be able to share the gospel. We'll be talking about that today also, sharing the gospel. I think Tim's going to talk about that a little. And but you know, just be ready to talk to kids about your relationship with God. Again, that's these kids are going to be looking up to you, and so that's a really important thing for you to do to just be ready to talk to them about your life, because that's what's real. Okay. A few reminders at the bottom there. Everyone under 21 will turn in your cell phones to the director. We're just trying to minimize distractions. That doesn't mean that if the cell phone needs to be used sometime, you can't come to me and say, hey, I really need to call so-and-so, or you know, whatever. We'll deal with it from there. But most of the time you won't need them. So in light of that, if there's a kid who gets a little homesick, wants to call home, that kind of thing, the general rule is you direct them to me, and I'll take care of that. And if they really do need to call home, we'll use my phone and call them. But other than that, you know, you shouldn't need your phones. Because of that, you'll probably need an alarm clock. It's helpful to have a fan with an extension cord. It is air conditioned there, but sometimes you just need to get that air moving a little more. We tell the kids not to bring bug spray and sunscreen because sometimes they like to play with that stuff and squirt each other and so forth. So we ask that you bring some, and you can share that with your kids when they need it. Flashlight is helpful. Sharpies for flags. Those of you that have been here and done this, you know, the last few years we started making flags for every team, and that's been a nice activity. But we got to have Sharpies to draw on those. So if you could bring some Sharpies for that, that'd be great. Got to bring drinks for party night. Thursday night we have our parties, and so you need to bring whatever it is you want your campers to have for that. We are providing some snacks this year. I was trying to decide, did we decide the counselors bringing the stuff for they're not even paying attention to me, are they? I know you guys have heard this all before, but no, I got a question. Do you all remember, did we decide, are the counselors still bringing the stuff they need for s'mores?
That was
No.
on our church list.
That's part of our list? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Doing s'mores.
You can tell, what?
Well, we had graham crackers on ours.
We're doing s'mores.
And marshmallows were on ours.
Yeah.
You can tell I didn't look at the clipboard.
We're doing pretzels and
That's right, yeah, that's right, yeah.
other stuff.
Salty stuff.
Salty and, yeah.
We're doing sweet and you're doing
And we're
salty.
doing Rice Krispie squares.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you don't have to bring stuff for s'mores, but bring drinks. Okay? Bring drinks. There are no camper pictures to be posted to any social media. Most of you won't have your phones with you anyway. But if there are pictures, you need to talk to Lori if you have a picture that's post-worthy, and she takes care of, will take care of that stuff. Any questions about counselor expectations? You want me to go on and talk about some of these other things?
Yep.
while I'm at it?
Yep. Much
Okay.
as you want.
Can I,
Yes.
it's not a question, but an addition, kind of expectations. So each of you should have received an email from Marshan Paget at Emmanuel Mennonite Church for a background check. So that would have gone to the email address that you used when you applied to be a counselor, that you got the email from John, all that email address. You need to check that. If you did not get a link from Marshan, I need to know today.
And she has a list of all the ones that I can affirm have not yet had background checks. Kelly has that
No,
list.
it's every
like
two, it's every
So
2
like
years.
CITs last year, if you did it last year, you don't have
Okay.
to do it this year. I haven't done it in 2 years, my name's on the list, but I didn't get any.
So, if you know you did it last year, then you're good.
Yeah, just check in with Kelly and we'll take your name off the list that way.
But that needs to be done today. Like, the deadline for getting the background check was today, so if you did not get it, we need to get a move on that like ASAP. Okay?
Anybody over 14, right?
Do what? I'm
I
sorry.
think it's over 14 that our policy at our church, and everybody's
Okay.
over 14 that is
Okay.
working at camp.
Gotcha. And then secondly, just a reminder that we asked for everybody to bring $20 for their t-shirt. If you did not do that today, that's fine. If you did, you can just bring it to me or Jamie sometime today, and I'll check you out for it. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, everybody good so far? Didn't see anybody get it to leave, so there we go. The next page has the camp responsibilities. We'll go over some of that. There's some we need to fill in, of course. And you can see there that I'm still the old goat director. She keeps leaving the old part off. I apologize. Anyway, and then Ken and Michael. Everybody remember Michael?
Yay,
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. Are going to be teaching this week. So really looking forward to that. I'm kind of lucky because I get to spend time in junior high and junior chapels, so I get to hear both of them speak, and I always look forward to doing that. One I don't think is on this list is Rob. Everybody remember Rob?
Rob.
Well, we
John's
got-
glad I'm here because I'm older than he is.
I'm not the oldest one here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're dropping either fourth oldest instead of third.
Rob is going to be in charge of CITs this year, CITs. So you should look forward to that. And he'll have your devotions and your responsibilities and things like that. So we're really looking forward to having Rob do that this year. Do we need to provide a chair? Do we need a folding chair?
Bucket hat.
I got that.
Got it covered, huh? Okay, all right.
It's all good.
Buckets on the bottom, sit on, bucket on my head.
Okay. Michael's going to help us with the music team also, and he in the past has even led the music team before, so we're looking forward to that. And then Krista Hodgson will be there to help Tim also with that, as Tim is the music leader. Sam's doing the computers again. Kelly has come back as camp nurse. Been a couple of years since she's done that. So we look forward to having Kelly with us. And of course, our speakers are also the quizzing people. Lori's back to do crafts at least one more time. Yeah. And counselors, that's one of the things you all need to do is make sure you have someone to help her when your crew is doing crafts. Right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
We have group activities. Now I was looking at this and let's see, hang on a minute. Yeah, we don't have on here a group activity for Monday, but it is in the schedule.
Yep. Oh, my bad.
No, that's it. Maybe we didn't used to do it on
I
Mondays.
think
I don't know.
last year we didn't, but I didn't check the schedule.
Well, I stuck it back in the schedule, so we'll need a Monday group activity too. So generally, for those of you who haven't been here before, counselors will volunteer to do the activities. Actually, Thursday nights when we do the counselor hunt, do you guys still want to do the counselor hunt?
Yes.
Okay, so we really don't need a group activity for
Except
Thursday.
Zach. Nobody finds Zach. Wasn't he the one that we didn't find last year?
I think so,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
He was hidden well, hidden.
So
He had a
instead
little
of,
bit of water thing that he could drink.
instead of the Thursday, we need a Monday.
Stayed in it for a long time.
So, who would like to volunteer to be in charge of the Monday all group activity? That's activity where the whole camp's involved, okay? Volunteers. Is it because nobody wants to be the first one or nobody wants to volunteer at all?
Zach can do Monday.
Ah! She did that last year.
Hearing no negative response, so carry.
All right, we got Zach down for Monday. Tuesday.
Liz.
Liz got Tuesday, all right.
I love it.
Wednesday.
We're running out of hollies. We can-
You can do an
CIT's want to do it?
Sam and Asa?
Ace, I got it.
Sam and Asa Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back for 30 minutes.
Okay, very good. We got those taken care of. Now, when we go through the schedule, you'll see there's also times where there's activities for the different groups, the junior high, the juniors, and you guys just get together and take care of that. So anyway, we've got our nighttime activities taken care of. Very good. Supper themes. We usually on Monday do camp t-shirts. I assume we'll stay with that. Are we all right with that? It's camp, what do we call it, Camper Unity? Camp Unity? I think is what we call that.
Camp
Yeah.
theme and unity. Is that right?
Is it Academy?
Academy.
Camp unity, camp theme.
No, we do a,
Crazy Hats.
I should have pulled out last year's. Crazy Hats?
Crazy Hats is normally Monday because that's when campers all get there, isn't it?
No, we always do our shirts.
Shirts Monday?
Yeah. So we can do Crazy Hats on Tuesday. You want to stick with Crazy Hats?
Yeah.
Okay, Crazy Hats. And then, I think we usually do, yeah, you're right, in that we usually do a cabin unity and then a camp theme.
Yes.
So, what do you think, Wednesday we do cabin unity,
Sure.
and Thursday we do camp theme?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Everybody good with that? Okay, and you can see, hopefully, if your name's not on this list down here, then we need to take care of that. But, everybody find their name on the list for the CITs, assistant counselors, and lead counselors?
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Okay, keep moving then. Sunday, before camp, we'd like to try to get you there around 2 o'clock just to get settled in, unpacked, those kinds of things. Around 3 o'clock, we'll have a group prayer and devotions. You'll have some free time. The camp there usually feeds us at 5 o'clock. We'll have a worship time at 6 o'clock, then we usually have a prayer walk after that, and then once we do our prayer walk around the camp, you're usually free to do some things, whatever's available at the time, or just hang out.
Go to Walmart.
Go to Walmart, yeah, a lot of people still have things they need to pick up. Monday morning is still just us, campers aren't there yet, so we'll have breakfast at 8 o'clock, worship and group prayer, and then we'll finish up any cabin preparations, get ready to welcome the campers who are supposed to start getting there at 11. And we all know that lots of times they get there before that. So we need to just really be prepared in the mornings. Monday's camp schedule is a little bit different than the rest of the week, but not much. So we look through that. We'll have lunch with the kids at 12. We have a cabin time at 1. That's kind of another time to get to know each other, make sure everybody's settled in. And at 1:30, we'll have a welcome time with music and worship. At 2:30, the pool will be open for swimming. At 4 o'clock, get to know cabin team time, and that's when we do the flags, right? During that time, and then that'll take us to supper, and then we'll prepare for our group activity. That's when it says group activity, that's referring to the junior high does something and the juniors do something, and you guys plan that out yourselves. We'll have some more music worship, and then our first real chapel time. And then an all-group activity. We are gonna provide a snack time this year that we haven't done the last couple of years.
No quizzing till Tuesday.
Devotions and showers, and then lights out. And you see junior high's a little bit different. I just read through the juniors. One of the things we did this year was we put the junior high group activity after music worship. In the past, the juniors have had that. That seems to be a little much for some of the young guys, and we figure the elders can handle it. Because then we go on to an all-group activity. So we got that all worked in there. And that's very similar to what our other nights will look like too.
Yeah, one of the groups has a back-to-back activity.
Right, right. So, questions about those? The next pages has team assignments, and then the next pages have cabin assignments. One of the things sometimes we have at this meeting is changes. Are there any changes to cabin or team assignments that we know of?
Not that I know of. There was a couple girls that signed up that are no longer coming, but I got that edited fast enough before print time. The only thing we'll need to know is the Cooley kid, where is he? What's his name?
Dylan
Rollin.
Rollin.
Did I put him on here?
He's on her.
Yeah, he's on there.
Okay.
He's under Zach and
So
Dyson.
Rollin is leaving Wednesday evening sometime. So he will not be there all week, just FYI, and we'll work that out with his mom to communicate with John when that's happening. But just FYI, he's leaving early. Everything else should be correct.
Okay. Any questions?
And it looks like the Warriors are ready again, so just hint hint.
Only some of them. Only the girls. The
Yeah, that's the
rest are
ones
dead.
that matter.
We-
Amy and Jamie are the ones that matter.
And we were gonna go by a weighted point scale this year, right? So,
Weighted against red.
yeah, everybody else has a little
Hey,
head start.
We tried it last year, they still couldn't top them.
All I gotta say is be thankful you don't have to go against Rob.
Hey, he's on my team this year. He's gonna help us out again. Oh, he's yellow.
Oh, we have so much fun.
I decided, all of us with a yellow name, we don't have children with us. We get to be our own team. I'm gonna get us a flag, and we're gonna go maul them.
Okay, on the front of your book, is our camp schedule. Junior and junior high is a little bit different in times just because of quizzing, because we use the same building for quizzing and the same building for chapel and so forth. So those are the only difference. And it's just like when I was explaining about Monday night, that we did add that snack time at the end after all camp activities. I'm not sure, we added a little bit of time to quiz
Yeah,
time.
it looks like 10 minutes went on.
Yeah, we added that. That was something you all asked for. You know, what we don't know for sure till we get there is how the canoeing time will work. I don't have canoeing on
The
here,
river's full.
but yeah, I
Our
bet it
Kansas
is.
River is full.
Yeah. And so, you know, we'll work that out when we get to camp and we visit with the camp director there.
They didn't offer that when we were just down there a couple weeks ago.
They didn't?
No,
It was
too
too
high.
too high?
Yeah, it was very
Monday,
good.
Okay, so they may not have it. Okay. We didn't have it our first year because it was too dry.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, it's possible we won't have that, but there's plenty to do, so it's not a problem at all. Remember, counselors, if you look at the sports crafts time, we have the kids sign up on Monday, whether they're gonna do sports or crafts, and whichever one they choose, that's what they do all week, okay? But you provide the sports activity, okay? You have to determine what they're gonna do each and every day that we have that, so keep that in mind.
And then John will just announce where are they going for sports.
Right.
The juniors are going there and there, the junior high is going there and there.
Yeah, we usually do that at breakfast time. Also, just a reminder, this is the same every year, but we do our own devotions together as a staff at 6:45 in the morning. And we'll talk about that again, Sunday, we'll go through some of this.
Or we call it.
And, the swim time, the way we've done that in the past is, it can be kind of a come and go thing. You don't have to swim the whole time. You can swim the whole time. But again, be aware of your kids. If there's kids that don't want to swim, then somebody needs to be with them doing whatever they're doing during that time. And there's lots of different activities they can be involved in. I'm assuming because it's so hot right now that it may be that hot when we're there, so that'd be real important for us all. We have told the kids to bring water bottles so that they can stay hydrated, and Mr. Scott and CITs will make sure there's plenty of water around when that's needed. So that shouldn't be a problem. But if it does become a problem, let us know, especially let Kelly know. Do you guys have any questions about the schedule? Let's see what else I got written down here. One of the things I would like to talk about that has been a little bit of a problem the last couple of years. We bring a lot of kids in on that big bus, and we've had some issues with unloading and loading the buses. So we kind of need to organize that a little bit. I don't think it's been as bad about the unloading as much as the loading, but still, what we'll need to do, you guys think about this a little bit, and we can talk about this again on Sunday when we're there, about somebody being in charge of organizing, unloading the bus when they get there, and then loading it when they get ready to leave. We can think that through a little bit and see what the best way to do that is, but we know that we usually use the CITs up there at registration to help kids get all the stuff they need and to get them to the right cabin, but we'll also need counselors to help with that too. Typically, you need at least one counselor in the cabin, so then we can work from there on some of those other things. There will be some adults on the bus, and hopefully they'll have a list of kids, and we can do some kind of an organized thing when they get off of there. But that's always the big rush, is when they get here. Anything else anybody think of we need to cover that way?
So I'll put a word out for our staff. This is going to be our third camp year under GraceLife. In year one, remember that? The first year, we had it late in the year. Who was the counselor here when Jenna Dyke was in their cabin? You guys remember Jenna Dyke? She says that she got saved on July the 31st, 2023 at GraceLife Bible Camp. I'm baptizing her next Sunday. And this is our first so-called salvation and baptism coming right out of GraceLife Bible Camp. And I'm excited, and I think partly due to even you guys, not just the speakers, but in the cabins and all the work that goes in with camp. So just keep being encouraged that you're very, very needed at camp, and the work is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have anything?
Does everybody anticipate being able to make it on Sunday, July 6th? Does anybody know of some reason why you're not gonna be able to be there that day?
Do you have transportation planned for that day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't wait until July 5th to make those plans. Yes, definitely know how you're going to get to camp and how you're going to get home. Okay, definitely have those
Yeah.
plans.
And, you know, it's a little bit of a jaunt over there in Ark City, so, you have to be prepared for that timing also.
Remember, if you volunteer for anything at church, at your church, remember to look ahead and see, you know, if you're scheduled for anything that day and make plans. I speak for us. I mean, just about all of us, I think, are going to have to miss church that day wherever you attend and probably get on the road early. So if that's the case, make sure you look ahead at your schedules, Sam and others, and see if you need to make any arrangements to get anything covered. So.
Sam going, why are you picking on me?
I got texted Owen the other day at like 11 p.m. for sounder.
Something I thought of, we're gonna backtrack just a second. Since I'm the nurse, I thought it said school nurse, camp nurse, flip back to that expectations page real quick and write my cell phone number down. For those of you that might have your phones with you, if you need anything from your cabin, write my cell phone number down by my name, 620-846-0305. Okay, now some people have it. It should be good.
Okay. Who's up next?
Good. All right. Okay, so take your Bible or open your Bible app to 1 Corinthians 15. Okay, let's do this next. We'll talk about the gospel here for a little bit, and then we'll give you a little break after that. Ken and Michael are going to introduce the theme, talk about some of the content of the chapel lessons and devotions or whatever they would like to share with you to help you get ready to also, you know, help teach from the theme and the theme section and all that. And then after that, we'll give you a chance to meet with your co-counselors and do some planning on stuff.